Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, hi, pull up a chair. If you're returning, welcome back to the group chat where we talk about royal nonsense with logic, memory and just a touch of side-eye. Today we're diving into one of the strangest, most revealing fixations in modern royal watching. Tiaras. Not history, not policy, not charity work. Tiaras. And more specifically, the way royalists have turned tiaras into a moral ranking system for women, while projecting their own obsessions, insecurities and weird fantasies onto Meghan Markle, Kate Middleton, and now a literal child. Yes, a child. So let's get into it. The royalists' obsession with tiaras is genuinely fascinating in a psychological study kind of way. Every single time the Princess of Wales wears a tiara, the same tired narrative gets rolled out. Meghan must be furious. She's seething somewhere in California. This will really hurt her. Hurt her how, exactly? With a headpiece? What's wild is that even when Meghan lived in the UK, royalists were already screaming that she should never be allowed near a tiara. They weren't just gatekeeping jewels, they were gatekeeping worth. And Prince William reportedly was right there with them, arguing behind the scenes that Meghan should not have access to royal collection jewellery at all. That tells you everything, because this isn't about protocol, it's about control. There's this underlying belief that every woman should be willing to humiliate herself, erase her boundaries and accept mistreatment, all for the honour of wearing a tiara once in a while. That's not tradition, that's a fantasy. Now look, let's be honest, jewels are pretty. I enjoy looking at them too. I'm not above admiring craftsmanship and sparkle. But the way tiaras have become the entire point of royal coverage lately, that's new. And it's weird. Outlets like People magazine regularly publish breathless pieces asking, when are we going to see the next tiara moment? That's not cultural journalism. That's filler content dressed up as monarchy worship. And honestly, it screams lack of interest in the actual people left behind in the institution. If the only hook you have left is headgear, the brand is struggling. Which brings us to the most unhinged development yet. People magazine recently ran a piece speculating about when Princess Charlotte, who is 10 years old, might have her first tiara moment. 10 years old. Let that sink in. The article frames this as cute and aspirational, talking about how Charlotte is destined to inherit access to the royal family's jewellery trove, and comparing her hypothetical future tiara debut to those of Queen Elizabeth, Princess Margaret, Princess Anne and Kate Middleton. This is where we pause and ask, are royalists just magpies in human form? Is sparkle genuinely the only reason they care about this family? Because projecting tiara fantasies onto a child isn't tradition, it's creepy. Let's clear something up, because this article quietly spreads a very common misconception. Princess Charlotte will not inherit the royal collection. She will not automatically inherit access to tiaras. That's not how it works. As we've learned very clearly over the past decade, access to royal jewellery is a personal prerogative, controlled by whoever sits at the top of the hierarchy at the time. That means Charlotte's access will depend on Queen Camilla, now William and Kate later, and eventually George, and whoever he marries. Nothing about this is guaranteed. Nothing about it is Charlotte's birthright, which makes the breathless certainty in articles like this not just wrong, but deliberately misleading. Now here's where I might really lose some people. If you ask me, Charlotte's first tiara moment should have already happened, at her grandfather's coronation in 2023. Not a massive piece, not a statement crown. A small, age-appropriate tiara. Symbolic, tasteful, historical. And the reason it didn't happen? The same reason Kate and Charlotte were stuck wearing those Hobby Lobby-looking decoupage headpieces instead of real jewels. Because Queen Camilla wanted to be the only one dripping in jewels. That coronation wasn't about unity. It was about dominance. Camilla completely sidelined Kate, Charlotte, Anne and Sophie, women who had carried the institution for decades, so she could hoard the sparkle. That wasn't tradition. That was insecurity. At the end of the day, this isn't about Meghan. It's not about Kate. And it certainly shouldn't be about Charlotte. It's about a group of people who have reduced monarchy to accessories, who confuse obedience with worth, and who think power only counts if it glitters. Tiaras aren't symbols of success. They're props in a system that rewards silence and compliance, and the fact that some people would rather obsess over who gets to wear one than question why the institution keeps shrinking, fracturing and losing relevance, that tells you everything you need to know. That's it for today. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe and share. Especially if you're tired of sparkle being used as a substitute for substance. And as always, thanks for listening. We'll talk again soon.